Hey, what's up, Fit Fam? It's that time again. We're into a new month of the year. We're into March already. The year's been flying by. Hopefully you guys have seen yourselves getting stronger, noticing those gains, feeling better, feeling more confident in the gym with us as well. So let's get into this month's Strength Club. Now, you know the drill. We're going to start with our ramping here. For our ramping, we're going to start with our hangs. So, great for grip strength, building that grip strength. Working on that shoulder mobility, decompressing that spine. Just a great way to get started and focus on your breathing as well here. So we're gonna grab that bar and we're just gonna nice deep breaths here. Big deep breath in, try to fill up your lung cavity. Think about your torso as a big balloon expanding in every direction. Hold it for a second and then slowly push all that air out. Use that breathing to anchor you through this one. You should be focused on 3 to 5 good deep breaths as you're working this one, and you really feel your body engaged here. You can also use your legs on the box. Remember, if you're gonna do that, just make sure that you're putting as much work onto that grip and those shoulders as you can, and using those legs as little as you have to really still build that grip strength so you can get to a point where you're not gonna need the box at all. So we got 30 seconds on that, and then we're gonna match that up with our landmine single leg RDLs here. So for this one, we are going to hold with our inside hand, the hand closest to the wall, and we are going to be standing, stabilizing on our outside leg. So in this example, it's my left arm, right leg, trying to bring my leg up as high as my chest goes low. Wall up those abs. Notice how I'm getting a slight bend in that knee, sitting into it just a little bit at the bottom. You don't have to go all the way down to the floor with this one. It's going as low as you feel like you can while being able to stabilize. Now you can also touch that foot down. You don't have to lift that foot up off the floor. Although for a lot of people, this one feels a little more stable because you do have that bar to kind of use for a little bit of assistance here as well. You also don't necessarily have to add weight to this bar. Some of you know that you can. Others, you might just be using this for that stretch and to activate those glutes. This is an awesome exercise to get those glutes firing for you. You will feel this the next day after if you haven't done this one with us before. Though this month in February, a lot of people are talking about feeling those glutes already, so they're probably primed for this exercise. So we're gonna get 1 set on each side, 2 sets of hangs. Then we're going to move on to our second group here. For this one, we're going to go out to the blue floor. We're going to work those anti-rotational dead bugs. I love this one because it gives us a couple different things working here. We're working on 2 different planes. We're working against that rotation here. That band wants to pull you over. You're going to resist that. Make sure there is tension in that band. You want to feel like you're pulling away from the bar. And then you're going to push out with one leg, really trying to stabilize through those hips, working that core. When we think of core, it's not just our abs. It's all those muscles that support our spine and our hips here and our shoulder girdle as well. So take your time and really focus on feeling this one out. And you will notice a difference from one leg to the other. We're going to do a set in each direction. And so we'll come back to that. When we come back to that one, you're going to face the other direction. The second exercise here, we're going to stir the pot. So we're going to grab those stability balls, wall up those abs, squeeze those glutes tight, focus on that plank first. And then you're making those circles with your elbows, pushing those elbows away from you the whole time. Start with a small range of motion and see what you can do as you're getting more comfortable. This is a challenging exercise, so if you need to, you can work it from your knees, although I prefer you to focus on that plank at the point where you feel like you can't make the circles. Focus on the plank first, and then if you need to, take your knees down from there, because if you're able to still work that plank, you're going to get a lot of good work out of that. You don't necessarily have to move those arms to get the most out of this one as well if you need to make that adjustment. So we're going to get 2 sets of those. You can also do your plank from the floor if you need to with that stability ball, and get rid of the stability ball there as well. So we got 2 sets of each, and then we're going to move on. So for our total body work on this set, we're going to actually have an interesting combination because we've done this before, but it's been a while. We're going to start with our step up press here and then move to our chin ups. For the step up press, you can see opposite hand and foot here. Driving that foot into the box, trying to crush that box like a soda can, using that momentum to throw that dumbbell up. So we're thinking speed and power here. So you don't need to go heavy with this one. I want you to go with the weight that you feel like you can throw through the ceiling. This is all to get those muscles firing here. And when you're moving fast and you find the right weight, you're going to feel it anyway. We're going to get that heart rate up a little bit. So challenge yourself. It's 5 on each side here. Anybody that has any shoulder issues, you can also do the pendulum press as opposed to doing the step-up press. Just let the coaches know and we'll help you with that as well. And then we're going to match this up with our chin-ups. So you're going to go straight from that press over to the bar for your chin-ups. You can add a band for assistance. You go body weight. You can add weight if you need to for this one. We're going to be going for 5 to 10 reps, so you can keep it heavy and just get the 5 in. You can add more assistance or keep it lighter and get 5 to 10 reps in. But I want you to err on the side of keeping it a little bit lighter, slightly easier than too hard on this one. I'd rather you give yourself a little bit more assistance and get those quality reps in here. Getting that chest or collarbone to the bar makes a big difference here. Think about putting those elbows and shoulder blades into your back pocket as you're pulling yourself down. 5 to 10 good reps. Give yourself a minute to 3 minutes to recover. We're going to get 2 sets of that in, and then we're moving on. So from there, we're going to move on to our strength circuit here. So this month, we're going to have 3 exercises for our strength training. We're going to work them in a circuit fashion. We're going to be going for 5 reps here. There's adjustment. It's already adjusted on the sheet. Don't worry about the screen. We have alternating bench press, deadlift, and then single arm sled squat rows. So we're going for 5 heavy reps here, which means that I want you to find a weight that you can do 5 quality reps and that you think you could do a 6, but maybe you have to muscle that 6th one. We want to save a little bit of that energy. I don't want you to push too hard that you need too much recovery time or worn those muscles out, but don't be afraid to challenge yourself here. If you get to 4 and you feel like, hey, I don't know if I can do another one, that's good too. That's a good number. It's not that 5's the magic number. It's just that 4, 5, or 6 is where we can see some big strength improvements as you find the right weights. And remember, in the first week, the goal is to find the weights that you want to be working with, or at least starting with when you get ready or started on the workout the next time you come in. So let's go through those exercises here. We have our single arm alternating bench press here, or dumbbell alternating bench press. So we get set up on that flat bench, both arms stay up, nice and rigid with those arms, and then we're gonna pull down, press up, 1 dumbbell at a time. Now, as you're pulling down that other arm, you wanna make sure you're staying nice and rigid, kind of pressing it to, not reaching for the ceiling, but just keeping that arm pressed to the ceiling here, because that's what's gonna keep us stabilized on that one side. So we get a nice kind of anti-rotational core challenge out of this exercise as well when you work it right and really squeeze those glutes, wall up those abs. This is 5 to each side. Now, for this one, what's tricky here is that you're gonna be holding those weights up the entire time. 5 reps on each side really starts to add up. So as you're working this, one of the limitations you might notice is this is getting heavy holding the other one up here. That's feedback. Make an adjustment if you need to, but I want you to get 5 quality reps on each side, and it's okay if you're struggling on that last rep. It's okay to find out what too heavy sometimes feels like as well, but don't be afraid to challenge yourself on this one. 5 on each side, and then we have our deadlift. So trap bar, kettlebell, whichever one you want to work here. The focus is still the same. Shoulders down and away, walling up those abs, nice flat back. Remember, we're pushing those hips back toward the wall. We can let those knees go forward slightly, but we want to think about using those hips first by pushing them back, sitting into at the bottom, and then taking the slack out of that bar. Nice firm grip on those handles. Driving up. Think about pushing the floor away from you to really drive on up here. Nice tall posture at the top. The deadlift, again, is an exercise where I want you to err on the side of lighter than too heavy to protect your lower back and keep you feeling safe and comfortable here. So it's better to be, 5 or 10% lighter than what you could do than find out you went too far and feel something not feeling right. Even if it's just too much work on those muscles, the deadlift really does a number on your nervous system. There's a lot going on there. So respect that, appreciate it, and then keep it slightly lighter to keep yourself feeling safe, and you'll get stronger faster, I promise you. So we got 5 reps on the deadlifts, and then the last one is our single arm sled squat row. So for this one, same as the sled squat row, but we're gonna add, again, a little bit of that anti-rotational work here. Sitting back, everything's the same, just holding on with one arm, and then you're gonna drive back, drive through those heels, squeeze those glutes. And again, the challenge here is that now I'm forcing one side to do more work and the other side needs to stabilize, but we're gonna balance it out, of course. So this is going to be lighter than what you would do for your 2-arm sled squat row, obviously, because you're gonna get less assistance. So err on the side, especially the first week, of keeping it lighter, because I'd rather you find out in that first set that it was too light as opposed to finding out maybe it's too heavy. We want the sled moving fast. I want you to feel like you almost have to get those toes out of the way. This one takes a couple reps to get used to, but you'll get it with time. So again, keep it light, focus on your form, and we'll build up from there. 5 reps on each side. So for most of you, that's probably gonna mean a certain number of reps down and then turning around and doing the 5 reps back. If you feel like you're running out of room before you get the 5 reps done on one end, obviously we turn around and we'll go down and back as many times as we need to, depending on how far you're yanking that sled. I'd love to see it too. So we're gonna go 2 to 4 sets on our strength training for these 3 exercises. In the first week, most people will have enough time to get through 3. Sometimes it's only 2 as we're kind of learning things and getting comfortable and familiar with everything. By weeks 3 and 4, you should have plenty of time to either get a 4th set in, or if you've been taking your weights up, you can use those 3 sets and really challenge yourself. Sometimes that 4th set is there for someone who wants to practice a little bit more at the end or realizes, hey, I do think I could go a little bit heavier. Let me give it a try. Nothing wrong with that. We just don't need to overtax those muscles every single time we're doing it. So 3 to 4 sets, and then we're moving on to our finisher here. So for our finisher, the coaches have asked, the members have asked.
It's members.
I love it. I love it. But this is a coaching challenge in the weirdest way for us. So we're gonna throw those hammer slams in for the finisher this month. When it comes to the hammer slams, lots of technique here, very little muscling on this exercise. But what's cool is that when you work the technique, the muscles get the work, because we're not trying to exhaust those muscles with hammer slams. We're trying to build in some rotational strength and trying to just add a little bit of energy at the end. It's also great just to beat the hell out of something with a hammer or a bat, whenever you have the opportunity. I encourage you to do so. Here at the gym, we're gonna try to make it so that you don't do it at home as well. So when we're working it, if you haven't done a hammer slam with us before, I will, or the coaches will kind of help you and try to break it down. But what I want you to notice here is how I'm always grabbing the hammer just under the head of the hammer before I start to swing it. This way I ensure that I am not reaching too high or too far back with that hammer as I swing it. This isn't like some caveman swinging a club around. This is really focused work. We're making a big circle, reaching high overhead, and then what's going to actually happen is the work comes from, one, lifting the hammer up a little bit, reaching as high as you can, and then what starts to happen is gravity's going to take over, and what it's going to let you do is pull it down. Instead of just letting it drop down or throw it down, you're going to pull that hammer down as you try to hit that tire as hard as you can. Now, a couple things here on this one. We need this thing deserves a 15-minute video in itself. Because there are things that I'm going to show you that I want you to do, I don't want you to do, and some people are going to do it anyway, and it's not because you just said, screw him. It's that as you're doing this, you're going to start to learn, oh, okay, I see, this is a little more complicated than it seems. You're going to be fine, most likely, probably. But there's waivers for a reason. So the biggest thing is, I don't want you pulling the hammer like off of the tire after it hits and letting it hit the floor. I don't want you swinging it back toward you. I don't mind the floor so much, but if that hammer hits your shin, best case scenario, it hurts like hell. Worst case scenario, it's bad. And I'm gonna sue you because I made this video to tell you not to do it. But we'll work on it. And I don't mean to scare everybody. It is fun. It's just focus on the technique at first. You don't have to make it hard. Learn how to do it well, and you'll be able to go faster and better, because slower is smoother and smoother is faster. Use that technique to get there.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to distract you. Ball slams?
Oh, yes, I was going to say, so for anybody who does not feel comfortable doing the hammer slams, you can also do ball hammer slams or straight ball slams for this one. We're going to do 5 each side, or you'll do 10 ball slams. And then we're heading over to the Echo Bike for 5 calories here. Again, I want you to time yourself, track that time, challenge yourself. 5 calories should be anywhere from, for some people, 8 seconds, 6 to 7 seconds, up to 25 seconds. Doesn't matter what your time is. What I want you to do is try to keep improving on that time. Now, those of you that are down to, single digits, it's hard to improve that time, I understand. But you keep working, you'll see that one number tick off. Those of you who are up at 20 to 15, hey, maybe you see 1 or 2 each week if you really challenge yourself. But don't be afraid to push yourself hard on this one. You're going to get a lot out of it. You'll recover quickly, and then we're over to our swings. Now, the challenge on this kettlebell swings for this one is, after the hammer and the bike, you really have to stay focused on your technique for this one, because you're going to be feeling tired. Whenever your breathing is, elevated and your heart rate's up and you have to focus on that, that's more energy that you don't have to focus. So don't take it for granted. Slow down, work these good reps, take those extra breaths. You can see Coach T here is doing the dead stop swings, parking it each time, driving through those heels. You can also work the repetition swings here. Either one's fine, but make sure that form is on point. We also did deadlifts in this workout, so I want you to go lighter on the swings than you typically would, because we've already gotten some good work out of that posterior chain. We're using this for more of a conditioning effect at the end, so keep it relatively lighter on your kettlebell swings than you would on a day when we're not doing those deadlifts, to make sure that lower back's not getting too much work here. You're gonna get 5 to 10 reps. We're gonna get 2 sets of this in, so give yourself, anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes to recover. 2 quality sets in, and then we're done. This is a great workout. I'm really excited. Here I am just telling you it's a great workout. You're going to tell me. Hopefully you tell me it's a great workout. I love getting the feedback from everybody as well. So please give us that feedback. Let us know what you're thinking. Help us help you get the most out of these workouts. I hope you guys are as excited as I am. Let's have a great March, everybody. I'll see you soon. Love you. Bye.